CMTV News Brief, live with Abane Jeff.
Hello there, I am Abane Jeffrey Obase and you're welcome to the news brief on CMTV. On our headlines, Islamic education authorities in the Southwest region have held talks on how to improve on Islamic education in the region. Second semester examination results in the University of Boya have been released, and some over 800 experimental vaccines against the Ebola virus have been donated to the World Health Organization (WHO) by Canada recently. Those are our major stories. Coming up is the full package. Stay tuned. This is the news brief on CMTV. Islamic education authorities in the Southwest region met yesterday in a one-day symposium that focused on building Islamic education in the region. The symposium was chaired by the Islamic Education Secretary General of the Southwest region and had in attendance some top officials of the basic education and secondary education ministries in the region. Ajongaku Santos was there and brought back this report.
2 weeks to the official start of the 2014-2015 academic year, authorities of the Islamic education of the Southwest region met recently at the regional delegation of basic education for the Southwest to brace up ahead of this year's academic year. The one-day symposium organized by the new Islamic Education Secretary for the Southwest, El Mathanga Hamza, had as theme Sound Islamic Education, a necessary tool for an emerging Cameroon 2035. With just 3 recognized Islamic elementary and secondary schools in the region, Mr. El Mathanga Hamza stressed on the importance of this workshop while quoting from Quran 20 verse 120, "May your knowledge increase, Allah."
Significance for this seminar is to enhance a lot of development, to improve the standard of education within our Muslim family. To see how to revamp the Islamic education sector, owing to the fact that my brothers and sisters are like sending their own children to Christian schools and avoiding to know that the value of Islamic education is fast dilapidating, or like it becomes extinct. And I looked at the whole thing. I saw it as a cry for everybody and for every Southwest Muslims. But nobody could take the courage to do what I am struggling to do today. And that's why I had to organize this symposium. But I think it will go a long way, because the education that they are going to implant on their heads today, they will take it back home and to encourage their children to attend the schools, that's Islamic schools.
Bent on encouraging this education, Mr. Ngondo Francis, Southwest Regional Delegate of Secondary Education, said the church, individuals with government assistance, are actors to the success of promoting Islamic education. Drawing the attention of participants to the eminence of such education, Mr. Ngondo Francis called for the respect of the United Nations Millennium Development Goal Point 3, that is based on education in less developed countries, that will discourage the disparities and discriminations often associated with the choice of education.
Yeah, the message is embedded in the theme of this seminar, which the new Education Secretary for Islamic Education has called, which is trying to embed excellence in all the education that we give our children, be it Christian education or Islamic education. And to me, I find this seminar very timely, because the idea of the seminar is to call all the stakeholders of Islamic education, the imams, the chiefs, and all those who are interested in education as far as schooling is concerned, to come and have a platform where they can harmonize their ideas.
Also present at the academic discourse were representatives of the Council of Chiefs of the Southwest region, the Imam of Boya, Al-Haji Muhammad Abubakar, the Imam of Tiku. Discussions and debates at this symposium centered around building sound Islamic education that is a major asset to Cameroon's emerging vision by 2035. Mr. Kalu Henry, in charge of schools in the Southwest region, stressed that the achievements of Government's emerging dream can only be possible if elementary and secondary education institutions be increased in Fako. The use of trained staff and the decency of such schools will be built on finances, academia, structures, and morals. Without subventions from such projects, Mr. Kalu Henry called on the Islamic Education Authorities to lobby for assistance from Board of Directors, which they will need to create. In the end, the message was clear. Just as the Bible says, go into the world and spread the gospel, participants were asked to go and promote education, be it Christian or Islamic. All are pivotal to Cameroon's emergence by 2035.
Jongaku Santos reporting results of the second semester examinations at the University of Boya for the 2013-2014 academic year have been released. The results, which were released yesterday in the various faculties, comes at a time to soothe the anxiety of the awaiting students. Bechanambe has the details.
The release of results in the University of Boya follows last week's Senate session on Friday, August 8, that deliberated upon, approved and visaed these results after long hours behind closed doors. Nonetheless, results for all faculties in the university have been visaed by the administration, yet some faculties and at the macro level, some departments have not started with the distribution of these results. Faculties like that of Education, Science, Social and Management Sciences have already effected the distribution of results, though results in some departments of these faculties are still pending.
It's first of all a great pleasure. Joy. I feel much joy. But the thing is, it's just one step. I'm glad to having taken this step, but now you have to continue.
I thank God because my results were very good. I'm very, very happy because in December I'm going to leave University of Boya and start a new life, start to think of what to do. So I'm very happy. I thank God because I don't have any receipts and so I'm set for December.
As some students collect results and express their joy for successes recorded, others still await to share their success as their results are still in keep.
Actually, the exam was very good for me, and so I'm expecting the best of my results. I wrote 5 courses and I trust God that I'm going to make it all in the 5 courses. So while waiting on the day that we start sharing that with the Faculty of Science, I'm just still praying and hoping and trusting God for better.
However, students who have courses to receipt for both the first and second semester examinations are keeping their ears to the ground as no official date has been communicated for the receipt examination, which traditionally is scheduled for September.
Still in education, 1 week after the release of the GCE results, admissions into the undergraduate and postgraduate programs into the various faculties and the College of Technology in the University of Boya have begun. In the following report, Buang Abel highlights the various areas of admission and the necessary requirements. This is his report.
The University of Boya, the place to be, is usually the center of discourse among students, especially after the release of the GCE results. Thus, for admissions were open on Monday, August 11, into the various faculties and College of Technology for both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. These admissions, which will run till September 5th, will be done online like the case in previous years. As part of the requirements necessary for undergraduate admissions, applicants must have a pass in the GCE ordinary level with passes in 5 approved subjects including English language and be holders of a GCE advanced level or BAc. in the series appropriate to the intended field of specialization, though individual departments may impose additional and specific requirements. On the other hand, applicants vying for a place for postgraduate studies in the University of Buea must be holders of a good bachelor's degree or equivalent in the required field of studies from a recognized university with at least a second-class honors lower division or mention as a bien or its equivalent. Also, transcripts indicating the courses taken at the undergraduate level and grades N should be submitted alongside 3 seat letters of recommendation from lecturers or professors. However, previous failures registered in the online registration seems to occupy the minds of applicants. The online registration process, which was introduced in UB in the year 2012, has now been widely adopted in other universities in Cameroon. The method has raised so many crises in the past as students still have difficulties in cracking codes and registering courses. This unsuccessful shift from manual to digital has witnessed so many reinstations of the manual process in the course of the academic year to sweep through the loopholes of online registration. So far, very few students can be spotted in the campus of the University of Buea for admission purposes, and since access to get to admissions and record office has proven futile so far, we hope that the issue of online registration in the campus of the University of Buea will be ameliorated this academic year. Nkwain reporting for CMTV, Campus A, University of Buea.
Many thanks to Nkwain Abel for that exclusive report on CMTV. We now go national as today marks 1 year since Cameroon officially gained sovereignty over the Bakassi Peninsula, a territory previously contested by the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Republic of Cameroon. President Paul Biya and Olusegun Obasanjo resolved the dispute in talks led by then UN Secretary General Kofi Annan in New York. Obasanjo agreed to peacefully withdraw Nigerian troops and leave the territory completely under Cameroon control within 2 years. And on August 14, 2013, the United Nations officially handed Bakassi over to Cameroon. The territory, which was before conflict-stricken, is today inhabited by Cameroonians and Nigerians and has greatly improved in administration and infrastructure. Onto our feature page, the roasted plum and plantain business carried out in Moliko is largely becoming popular amongst women who consider it a major source of income and not just another seasonal business. Lillian Fonlon in the following reports explores the rationale in its growing popularity. Let's hear it.
Plums and plantains roasting on small charcoal-fired grills is a sight that unavoidably catches the eye as you walk the streets of Moliko. Like in most parts of Buea and its environs, the adage, whatever is in season makes business, holds true for petty business women in this part of the town. With the rentrée scolaire just around the corner, vendors are understandably seizing the opportunity to make whatever money they can from selling plums, which are very much in season at this time of the year.
At the streets of Moliko, where the plantain and plum business is booming, the women are doing their job, and we're going to speak to a few of them right now. Hey madam, so tell us, why have you decided to do this business at this time of the year?
At this time, we do also the happy for bicycle and to go back for school.
So in a day, you feel estimate, say, you feel make like how much for the business?
At least from 5,000 per day. So because now we depend on students, now the students they have gone. Very soon they will be back. So we don't buy small that we can manage for the day.
Wait to be some of the difficulties then or challenges then where you face as you do the business?
It's just as rain before too, the market too is strong, but at least
why you decide for do this business for this time for year?
I decided for do this business because I get picking the way I want to know. Because for now, so in those days, The mommy they don't be no go, but this time so we want to know we can know something about education.
So tell we as you burn the plantain and plum, what will be the difficulties that we define them as you do the business?
I define the profits. I define I came to the plantain and the seller. Because I want something where I don't want to be idleness. I want to touch money in my hand, but there is not too much gain there, but we prefer small.
Why have you decided to do this business at this time of the year?
I do this business because I want to be
So are you a holiday maker?
Yes.
So doing this business, what are some of the challenges you're facing as a young child?
Because I want to be a...
So when you do this business, do you make profit?
Yes.
Like how much money do you estimate that you can sell in a day?
5,000.
Holiday makers, with the help of their parents, are also taking up this trade as holiday jobs with the intention of making some money to support their parents in their back-to-school preparations. Interview. Being able to sell about 5,000 francs CFA on a good day, the vendors say persistent rains in Boya usually hold customers back so that they often don't sell up to this amount. They express that, notwithstanding, they are able to make a profit out of the business.
Indeed, it's not an easy task for these women who put in a lot of energy to make sure that they have money in their pockets. As we have seen, the plantain and plum business at this time of the year is a booming one along the streets of Moliko. As they say, nothing good comes easy. This is Lillian Fondon reporting for CMTV News.
Lillian Fonlon reporting on our feature page. This is the news brief on CMTV. We now take you international as some 800 to 1,000 doses of experimental vaccine have been donated to the World Health Organization to curb the maddening spread of the Ebola virus in West Africa. Canada sends the trial Ebola vaccine at a time when the virus has claimed over 1,000 lives in Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, and Nigeria. The VSV Ebov vaccine that was developed at Canada's microbiology laboratory in Winnipeg, Manitoba, has never been tested on humans but has shown promise in animal research. Meanwhile, representatives of the Gulf monarchies met in Saudi Arabia to discuss precautions against the Ebola epidemic ahead of the annual Hajj pilgrimage to take place in Mecca in early October. Now on to a sad note. One of Brazil's front-runner candidates in this year's presidential elections has died in a plane crash in Sao Paulo. 49-year-old Eduardo Campos died after his private jet crashed in the city of Santos on Wednesday alongside two pilots of the Cessna 560 XL and 4 members of his campaign and press team. Brazilian air authorities say air traffic control lost contact with the plane as it prepared to land in bad weather after leaving Rio de Janeiro's capital airport. Following his loss, President Rousseff has declared a state of national mourning and suspended her campaign for 3 days. It's on that sad note, ladies and gentlemen, that we put a cap to today's edition of the News Brief on CMTV, where we told you that today marks 1 year since the official handover of the Bakassi Peninsula to the Republic of Cameroon by the United Nations Organization. You can follow us on our webpage, www.chillenmusictv.com, and of course you can get more of this on a live broadcast of the news on Monday at exactly 7 p.m. Stay tuned because up at 8 p.m. first edition of Market Balance. Bye-bye.